I installed over 100 mods to Persona 5 Royal. Why did I do that? Well, take a look. Our story starts in the middle of an escape. After running and slipping past a bunch of enemies, we make our way up with our handy grappling hook and more enemies show up. Thankfully, one of our friends pays back her IOU by assisting us in a 10-second fight. I show my moves by jumping through a massive window. After watching her fall with no animation other than a Y keyframe, I wake up and smell the ashes of this musky room. Not even aware of my surroundings, and yet we got kicked in the stomach. I think one of the guards was a mime at one point because he's just standing on nothing here. We quickly choose the difficulty based on how I like my sex. Safe. The guard thinks that my skull is too thick, so he randomly starts speaking into my forehead. When the game lets me write my name, I choose Joker Persona due to the fact that she still hasn't settled on a name herself, but is just happy she doesn't have to be denamed anymore. After a bit of talking, this person named Sai comes bursting from my balls about how I'm a criminal, and how I gotta prove myself innocent, so now I gotta start the story from the very beginning.
I only committed arson and raided the Geneva Convention with a friend of mine. It ain't that big of a deal, come on.
I get off of the train and make my way up to my caretaker's house. Except it's not actually his house I'm staying at, it's his coffee shop. He takes me upstairs where I'll be staying for the next year. As I lay down in my bed, wondering how I even got myself in this situation, I see a strange app on my phone. No idea how it got there, so I suppose I'll just delete it. As I doze off to sleep, I meet two kids in police uniforms and Gru from Despicable Me. I guess the minions rioted against free labor, so he invested into the next best thing. He goes on about ruin and destruction. It won't matter where we're going in later anyway. After I wake up from that weird dream, I get to register myself into the school system and make me an official student at Shujin Academy. I meet our very normal and non-conspicuous teacher, Kawakami, and the hairless Eggman-looking principal, Kobayakawa. I receive my ID alongside a flyer for a maid cleaning service, and okay, I guess Kawakami doesn't want me to have that. That's unfortunate. As I make my way out of the meeting, Kawakami bumps into one of the teachers, Dream. I don't know why Dream became a teacher. I suppose YouTube stopped working out for him or something. Meanwhile, me and Sojiro get stuck in traffic. While waiting in the traffic, the radio gives us some news.
Hello, and welcome to 4372.54 FM radio. We give news and banger tracks as none of you know. In this afternoon's broadcast, there's some weird stuff going on in the train station. Here's a quick cutscene to show it off.
Man, I'm finna whip this hoe.
Hours pass by and now it's nighttime. Sojiro gives me a diary so we can make saves, cause God knows I ain't playing this game in one go. Even if I did, however, I would have lost progress due to something happening later in the video. Multiple times, by the way. I quickly write in the diary, sleep inside my bed, not on, because I'm melting into it, and get some rest for my big day tomorrow.
Good morning, world, and to all who inhabit it, except Tapperwick.
I wake up and get ready for my first day of my new school, and thankfully my good old pal Sojiro made me some breakfast, and it's curry?
I want some really clean curry, but I'll try it out, I guess. Sojiro, this curry is so amazing. It makes me want to cut my entire skeleton out. It's that good. Oh my.
Sojiro requests that we go to school, so now I suppose we should follow his orders. Suddenly it starts raining, so we gotta take some cover. And as that girl drives off, we meet Vulgar Boy, whose name is actually Ryuji. He thinks that Dream acts like the king of a castle. Little does he know that's actually true. Some guards come in to help us, but oops, they're actually evil and they wanted to kill us instead. They knock us out and we wake up in a cell. Shortly after being bored, Dream is in the same cave looking for us. And unfortunately, we're minors. Dream comes into our cell and starts beating the shit out of Ryuji, but we can't just let Ryuji get beaten up, we gotta save him. All of a sudden we get turned into a guy for a brief moment and get our magical girl transformation while we awaken our newfound power. We test out how strong our persona is. That's strong. And this is only the base form as well, that's horrifying. Anyways, with no time to lose, we lock Dream in the cell and thunder the keys to the next big persona video I'm working on after this. After trying to find an exit, we bump into a mysterious cat named Morgana that I'm sure I won't get pissed off at. After messing with him a little bit, we rescue him and he leads us out of the castle. As we try to escape, we get into a quick fight where he wants to steal our moves. So I tried to kill an enemy, but it was forced to not die. Morgana called me an amateur for not being able to kill it, then proceeds to act like he's better than me. Little does this know that I'm unkillable, and on top of that, I have the power of a god that can literally kill anyone he pleases. Amateur my ass. Anyway, we make it out of the castle and return back to the real world. Unfortunately, some cops see us thinking we're skipping school or taking illegal substances. Only one of those is correct.
Sorry, officer, I didn't go to school.
We take Ryuji with us back to school so we don't get into any further trouble. Those cops snitched on us anyway, so we got in trouble when we reached the front gates. And Dream overheard the situation, and so he tries to act intimidating. The only thing that's intimidating is how creepy his face sprite looks. At any rate, Kawakami has been waiting for our arrival, so we rush over to the faculty office to introduce ourselves to our class.
So...
I'm getting the impression everyone thinks I'm weird or something. At least this blonde girl knows I'm not a freak. Hopefully we get to be friends by the 15th. After a short day of school, we start to walk out of our class. We start hallucinating by seeing the inside of the castle. I guess those edibles really do work, huh? Kawakami stops to warn us about Ryuji. And speaking of the devil, we got Ryuji over here who wants to meet us at the rooftop. We sneak onto the roof where Ryuji wants to give us his thoughts on Dream and whether or not we can make it back to the castle. He reckons we're gonna get along just fine. Then he wants us to go back home where Sojiro gets mad at us because we skipped school.
Sorry, Sojiro, but crack is too addictive.
We go to sleep and meet Guru once again. He goes on about how we have the cool ability to use our persona, which to summarize lets us kick ass and kill anything that gets in our way. We wake back up and now we gotta go to school, properly this time. On our way to school, a fellow student offers an old lady a seat because she's very kind. Unfortunately, some businessman steals the seat.
Oh, wow, what speed.
She tries asking him nicely to let the grandma sit there and said, but to no avail. So we step in and tell the girl to be assertive.
Beep beep.
Not insertive. We make it off the train and the redheaded girl gives us a quick thank you for teaching us the ways of plankton, and we make it back to school shortly after. We answer a single question from the teacher, then all of a sudden it's over. I wonder what's even the point of school if that's all we do. The train ride to and from school is longer than being at school. Oh well, anyway, we make our way back to the front gates where Ryuji wants our help to try and find out what is up with that castle we went to. We retrace our steps to see how we managed to get there, and after 3 loops around the school we give up. Ryuji mentions that we should try the app we have. Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt to try. Oh yeah, that works. And I can tell because I'm absolutely fabulous. Ryuji's clearly jelly that I get a cute outfit and he doesn't, and I'm sure he wouldn't get one himself, right? Bloody hell, Morgana, what the hell are you doing sneaking up on us? He tells us how this castle exists and what to look out for. Ryuji wants to help out the kids in Dream's basement by trying to figure out who they are in the real world so he can get proof that he's evil. As we do some fun dungeon crawling, which I'm going to cut most of it due to the fact that it'll make the video longer than it already is, we stop by the safe room and Ryuji gives us a gun to test on an enemy. Before we do that, however, we gotta give Morgana some new clothing. Of course, I'm making my favorite Fortnite character, Hatsune Miku. Then proceeded to focus on the main objective. After quickly running through the palace, we make it to the basement where Ryuji finds out who's being abused. Since we got what we needed, we make our escape to where we came from. Dream tries to take us down. Little does he know I have the power of God.
What do you mean I'm forced to lose? This is as hunted as the Manhunt series.
But Ryuji hits him back with a no you and awakens something within him. He summons his persona and starts kicking. After the fight, Dream shows off his underage girlfriend, which I'm just gonna censor, and then we make our way out. Before we leave, Morgana demands that since he helped us, we should help him, even though we already helped him get out of the cell. What a greedy. Anyway, we become friends with Ryuji, and Sai gets us out of our immersion and brings us ahead of time, but I'm gonna cut those from now on because it's annoying. We enjoy some beefball together while talking about why I went on probation, to an understandable reaction.
What the hell, man? How much shittier can that asshole get?
After a hearty meal, we make it back home and get some rest for athletics day tomorrow. We then wake up and get ready for the big day ahead of us. We see an annoying dipshit get spiked in the face, so that's absolutely worth watching. After that performance, me and Ryuji get bored, so we instead try and focus on finding someone who will admit to Dream abusing them. After some convincing words to other students,
Tell me where your friend is and I'll give you this Yu-Gi-Oh card.
we give up and decide to meet back up in the schoolyard. While we wait, An says hi and asks what we're going to be doing with Kamoshida.
Trust me, nothing bad's gonna happen. Hell, you'll probably thank us after the Kamoshida arc.
She storms off, so me and Ryuji decide in seeing if Mishima's doing alright. Personally, I don't give a f about him, so I'll just gloss over his issues and mention that Dream starts being a dickhead again, and starts insulting me of all people.
Didn't the principal tell you to keep in line?
Sorry Kamoshida, but this is the best I can do to stay in line.
The next day comes around and An has a chat with Shiho, which rudely gets interrupted by a call who is definitely not Dream or whatever. Shiho makes her way out and bumps into yours truly. She gives us wise advice saying how we shouldn't let the rumors get to us.
This might not be any of my business, but don't let the rumors get to you, okay?
I never let it get to me.
I managed to meet Ryuji and have a discussion on what we should do about Dream abusing the students.
But seriously, isn't there something we can do?
Mr. Sakamoto, I have an idea.
In the heat of our discussion, V comes out and introduces herself as an Umbreon.
I'll handle it.
What a cool Pokemon. I sure hope this helps me sort of like Morgana now. By the way, it doesn't. If anything, I actually hate this character more than I did when I last played this game.
Wait, you came to our world? Does that mean you've got a phone?
I didn't think you would. You can borrow one of mine. I got spares.
You don't need one when you're at my level.
At least I got backups. Mono would then continue to yap about how we should work together and stuff, so we agree. Not because I want to, but because the game is forcing me by the balls.
I didn't really feel like playing Persona 5 Royal today. Oh my god, what's my balls doing? Why am I playing Persona 5 Royal? No, stop! Stop!
The school day ends, so we make our way to the train station, but Anna is in a cold bawling her eyes out, so we must help her. We invite her to a drink so she can de-stress a little. Afterwards, we finally make it back home and hit the hay. I wake up and get ready for another day at school. Hopefully something interesting happens today.
Wait. She's going to jump!
Wait, the f*** you mean there's a girl about to jump? Why is that interesting? Oh my god, she's about to do the Minecraft water bucket trick, IRL, that's not good! Oh, we need to get there immediately. Let me use my teleporting ability to get to the scene.
What the hell's wrong with these people? That guy. Hey, wasn't Mishima acting weird?
Damn, that little f***er is being sussy. We must check up on him. So it seems that Dream would abuse Kamoshida, Suzui, or just any other member for that matter. We must go to Dream and confront him ourselves. So Dream is trying to lie to get what he wants. I would have let Ryuji throw to punch at him, but I'm forced by Daddy Atlas to hold him back. After some arguing, Dream friend and us is getting expelled, so we decided that we must work together and seal his desires. An comes in and wants to join in on gang revenge on Dream, but Ryuji basically tells her to f*** off, so we do it ourselves. I'm sure she wouldn't sneak in anyway. Oh no, she got in. I hope this doesn't lead to her getting kidnapped then. I should stop speaking. So Anna's been chained up and we need to convince her that she should stand up for herself, like what we did with Ryuji. And as she awakens her persona, we kick Skibidi's toilets and then we make our way out of the palace since we did some exploring beforehand.
Hey, are you okay?
Well, pretty much. Wait, I lied.
We find a safe place to discuss in the train station in public, discussing how we're going to take down Dream. How do people not hear us and question it? And whatever, JRPG logic, I guess. We get An's confidant and get her number. Best not to give it to Morgana since he has a phone. I get home and aw yeah, baby, Takemi, please give me a chance.
Please, Takemi, kick me in the balls!
Anyway, we get Morgana to our room and he immediately complains at the state of it. God damn, why can't I leave you outside, you ungrateful little Oh no, Sergio hear me talk to the cat, what do I do? Oh, he wanted to give him food. Alright then, saves me money from calling Uber Eats. Next day comes around and we gotta do some preparations, so we go to Takemi's clinic to get laid. On her bed to get examined and pass out drinking questionable substances. We buy some healing that will never get used during our entire 100 plus hour playthrough and make our way back out. The next day is where we go with Ryuji to buy fake guns that become real guns in the metaverse. I buy my boy Ryuji a gun and since he gave me money to spend, because it'd be pretty scummy to just steal his money. Like I'm already rich, I don't really need to give me money for it. The next day, we go to school and Kawakami takes me out of the classroom and we bump into Oomphy! Oh, and Dream has to run my reputation to the ground in front of her. What an ass. It's fine, he ain't ready for that one day palace clear on April 18th. She basically gives us a heads up to watch out from getting in trouble by Dream, and she also asked if I was into Kasumi, to which I responded, I'm a Persona fan. If I like the minors, I'm a diddler. But if I like the adults, however, I want to be diddled. You can't move against people who don't play the games. Alright, let's quickly do our day 1 palace rush. And that's how you beat a palace in a day. Today's schedule has us hanging out for Ryuji. However, before we do, I overhear 2 girls talking about reading, which leads to Mona asking the question if I like reading. Well, as you can see, I'm quite the narcissist. Another 2 days pass and we decide to send the calling card, which causes Dream to panic and prepares a fight for us. Which, oh boy, he isn't ready for the power of the Second Amendment. Without a moment to spare, we make our way to Mementos to grab the treasure, which for Dream is a crown. As we take it out, however, Dream steals it back and leads us to our first boss fight. G2AM kills him without hesitation, but due to him being so strong, it causes the fight not to go past the victory screen. After 20 minutes of retrying the boss, I had to turn off the Dream mod, so now he's Kamoshida, sadly. They look the same anyway, so it really isn't a loss. As the castle breaks down, we rush out and make it back to the real world. We check to see if we still have the treasure, and it's a 1 million sub medallion. Really, YouTube? You changed the plaque to this? That doesn't matter anyway, as we plan to sell it and go to a fancy restaurant later. But before that, we gotta wait till Dream confesses his crimes to the school. To pass the time, we get Sojiro and Takemi's confidant unlocked, pay a visit to the infamous Beach Feet, watch Son Michael's Normal Day at the cinemas.
Good morning, world, and to all inhabited, except Serbia.
Hang out with Ryuji, and play some baseball. Now the day of Dream admitting his crimes finally arrives. The day after, we sell off the medallion for us to indulge in a feast fit for kings. We enjoy our tasty meal together for a job well done, and also decided what we should call our team. What did I decide to call it? I'm glad you asked. I went for HR Thieves, because goddamn I wish I had estrogen so damn badly I'd gladly steal it. For legal reasons, this is the joke. As we leave, however, we bump into Mr. Worldwide, I mean Ian Hawke, I mean Jamie Heineman, I mean Andrew Tate.
That really pissed.
Yeah, Ryuji, they tend to do that. One throbbing wiener later, Makoto gets forced to help out Eggman with getting info on the Phantom Thieves. This could cause us some issues for us later, and definitely won't just lead to her becoming a teammate who I don't like. Mishima comes in to ask if I'm a Phantom Thief, invades my personal space, and tells us about the site he made for us, which unlocks his confidant, which I refuse to do. Mishima, all my homies hate Mishima. Ryuji, Morgana, and An get into an argument about studies.
Even your Japanese is questionable at best, Ryuji.
My English sucks.
Ryuji takes us to the gym where I try to be more athletic, but I'm such a girl failure I sit on my ass all day grinding JRPGs and edit videos. In short, I'm not fit in the slightest. Afterwards, Sojiro gives us the keys to LeBlanc, and what do we do now that we can go out? I read. Thankfully, the day after is more interesting as Morgana tells us about the metaverse, and not the slop Elon's making or Atlas turf. This place has people who can get their hearts stolen and saved. But before that, I need to bust my moves while driving. Driver's license be damned. Drunk driving can't stop me now.
Safe
safety first, okay?
We see some guy who talks about some dude named Madarame, and as we leave, we meet Red Amogus, who goes by Jose, or Josie, however you want to read it, and offer him some needed help. Unfortunately, as we got home, Mishima messaged me about hanging out at the diner, and I don't get a twist in the matter, and I'm forced to hang out with this loser. Sean went from Reen Schwarzer, second form, get to D-Luke, two absolutely peak characters to one of the most annoying dipshits to exist. Sorry dude, they did you so dirty. Anyway, we get a request from the fan site, so we head back to Mementos, and I get the bright idea for something. That something is being scummy. Yeah, I just decided to farm the Reaper because I thought it'd be funny to be a high level. This also won't be the last time I do it too. We go back to school like any other day, and oh my god, where the f did we hire another YouTuber as a teacher? What is wrong with this school? No matter. Hopefully he doesn't have a palace later on. Son of a bitch. We got 232 days till then right now, so we reach one of the best parts of the game. That's right, be gone bottom mash. We go to meet someone, they gave us our address, and it's no other than Dan TDM. You might be wondering why I didn't show Dan earlier, due to the fact that we meet him at the train station. Unfortunately, I lost that footage alongside meeting Mr. Beast for the first time on stage. Why couldn't it have been some metaverse footage? Anyway, we enter Dan's house where he wants to paint on, but I had to bring our boy Ryuji because he can be our bodyguard. Dan gets distressed over his painting and realizes that the most optimal way to paint on is by her being naked.
I will put my heart and soul into creating the best nude painting ever.
We then get kicked out for causing a scene, so we head back into Madarame's palace to see if we can discover anything about him and Dan. We traverse as far as we can, but gets stopped by a massive door. If only it was lower and was made of tape, it would have faded away. But Morgana suggests we get the door open in the real world, which will open the door in the metaverse. So, unfortunately for An, that means she has to strip for Dan.
What?
She goes over to his house, and he has a great plan.
By the way, have you gained some weight?
You think so?
After losing 30 kilograms, like how I do the same in the toilet, she rushes over to the door where Morgana is picklocking with his nails, Puss in Boots style. The two make it in and discover many of the same paintings of Sayori. Of course, Madarame notices and gets really pissed and lies about the whole situation. An then pulls the cloth to reveal the true Sayori, which leads to Madarame calling security and threatening An and Dan getting arrested. They run off somewhere, but in the meantime, the door opens in the metaverse where me and Ryuji turn off the security control. We run off to try to fight An and Dan, and right as I say it, we get a delivery update and they drop off right above us. We all rush towards the exit of the palace, but I get rudely stopped by Madarame. Dan stops taking from him and awakens his persona. After one easy battle, we make it out and take Dan to dinner. We have a good chat and he decides he wants to join the HR Thieves, so hooray, we got a new member. We got ready and head off to the palace where we cleared it in one whole go, letting me do a cool time lapse or something.
Dumb boy, now I'm really gonna get to the ripping, dipping, slipping, and flipping. You look like a level 37 guard chomping and
Afterward, we send the calling card and get ready to steal the treasure. As we escape, Morgana thinks he's smart by looking at the art, and for once he was onto something, even though he was giving into temptations because the painting was a massive troll. Madarame then showed the real Sayori and told the backstory that it was Dan who was the baby that was covered in the painting with his mother holding him. Of course, due to Madarame clearly getting off on the fact of ruining Dan's life, he turns into a painting and turns it to Pagorame. 1 G2AM later, and we win once again. As Madarame admits defeat, he mentions someone who wears a black mask. I wonder who he could be possibly talking about. While we dread that there's someone that'll potentially cause issues for us, and we're also waiting on the next target, I go maid watching with Ryuji, and unfortunately Mishima, who really joined in because he's a little bitch. In preparation, I eat a big burger, then make my way to the address Ryuji gave me. I order a maid, and for some reason my phone just spins in my hand. It will do this whenever I hold it every time, I don't know why. As the maid comes to my door, Ryuji and Mishima rush outside to not draw attention. Oh, she's starting to catch on quick. Say something smart. I'm a mom. Wait, what? I didn't order Pizza Hut. What is this, a prawn film? Oh, so apparently Kawakami is a Pizza Hut maid. Guess you really can't out-pizza them. While I got some time to rest, I spent time with a couple of people such as Mr. Beast, Ryuji, and An. Also watched a movie, then got ready for an excursion. Oh, some creep dares to hurt my oomphy? I give the guy some encouraging words, and then take Kasumi with me to the excursion. Oh wait, never mind, she forgot her gym clothes at school, we'll see her later. We make it and chat a bit with An and Ryuji before Mishima talks to us again abruptly. Makoto announces that we must start cleaning up, so we do just that. Kasumi finds us sitting by ourselves due to the fact that my team ditched my ass. To be fair, I shit my pants again. And then we enjoy a meal together. She also talks about how she's sorry for how she acted when she saw us and how she doesn't care about the rumors.
What were all the crimes I'd heard? Burglary, murder, and elephant tusk trafficking, was it?
I drive without a license too.
Even I can tell you're joking.
That's a neat thing, I'm not. Wanna see? We start to introduce ourselves and then never mind, a kid interrupted her. So we check her ID and find out her name. We also find out she's a gymnast, so we asked her to teach us to do it, since it'll help with being a fan with you somehow. She agrees as long as we help her and form more confidant with her. We receive her phone number and finish the day up at the park. At school I find this girl who looks like a nutcase, and have a deep chat with Mr. Beast about YouTube advice. And then comes the day of Madarame admitting his crimes. A snarky twink gets annoyed by the mention of the HR thieves, and Makoto has a stern face to the confession. And now we move to our next operation. We meet up with Ryuji where he shows us darts, while Makoto follows us around like a creep. We reach summer, so now we must wear our summer outfits, and Ryuji has the best shirt. But unfortunately, as we step outside, we find that it's raining and we bump into Kasumi, who didn't bring an umbrella, so we offer her mine. I take her to the station and make our way back home. Makoto starts interrogating students on the current problem of students getting stuck in drug trafficking. Meanwhile, I hang out with Kasumi, get Kawakami to deliver me some pizza, and then I go to a TV program live in person and see the infamous Delicious Pancakes line.
Oh, am I mistaken? I thought I heard something about delicious pancakes.
Soon after, I unlock Akechi's confidant and then take our leave. Makoto takes a photo of us like a creep. She's a weirdo. Dan gets kicked out of his house, but that's too bad because we're throwing a party to celebrate another victory. Everyone takes a look around my room and we cook a mean meal. Mona and Ryuji try to be pros as usual, and I share more of my backstory as to how I got in the situation I'm in.
Hey yo bro, check out my new 3DS theme. Oh look, it's so cool. Why do I hear Nintendo knocking at my door?
I somehow join the guys in the sauna. I suppose it's unisex or something. Then we all go to play some darts and get an interrogation by Makoto.
I swear I just hit the bed only once, please.
And Ryuji gets our ass caught because he calls us at the worst possible timing. She forces us to take her to the team to tell them that she'll give us an offer tomorrow. Before we do that, however, we play pool with Akechi and the easiest win of the century. You can't win this regardless of choice, by the way. The day of Makoto's request comes up and tells us about the person. Hey Makoto, what do you call someone without a body and a nose?
Nobody knows.
Haha, quite humorous indeed. After saying something witty, she heads off and gives us the info we need to find the Mafia. Hopefully the Mafia isn't some 6'2", mid-30s, long, brown-haired woman with muscles and her bird-brained friend that could kick our ass at air hockey. That'd be awful. Anywho, we search around the school for people who've been working for the Mafia till we meet Ida, who gives us info on how to join them. After some frantic searching, Makoto finds us then shortly after another person comes up for us a job. Figured out who we should target, then get some more info from a journalist that everyone in the fandom totally likes. While we wait for that, we do some karaoke and a snap animation, then have Kawakami give us a nice hot meal. What the f***? I thought you worked at a fast food pizza joint, not at the local grocery shop. We spend some time with Dan and Lock his confidant, and finally meet up with Oya. At least we get to see Lala, so I guess we got some enjoyment being here. After chatting, we find Ryuji with two dudes and we ditch him. This is still a really stupid bit in the game, why do we have to just leave him? Meanwhile, Makoto gets called useless by her sister.
Right now, you're useless to me.
Next it comes up and On calls her useless, and then get a very necessary flashback to Sai saying it too.
Right now, you're useless to me.
Ryuji then says how we shouldn't answer her honestly, which causes her to flashback at the same moment mere seconds prior. Makoto gets fed up with the constant uselessness, then storms off to get kidnapped by the Mafia. Dan does a sketch of the license, and Ryuji stops the car with the force, just about how he stopped a car that fast. We meet up with Kaneshiro where he threatens to leak some questionable pictures if we don't give him money at the allotted time. We immediately head to the metaverse where Makoto can't tell what Nikudayo is meant to be. It's definitely not a cat, I can tell you that much. Anyway, we make it inside and fight a pile of money, which leads us to us getting into a forced set of battles. We try to make our way up, but Kaneshiro stops us, which leads to Makoto getting her persona. After some flipping, we rush out and save the palace rating for later. Makoto then suddenly lost her sense of vision, so now she's wearing glasses and requests that we take care of the palace. As we step into the palace, I immediately get into battle upon entering the bank, and Mikudayo and Hilda use their special attack. We sneak through elevators, break some power supply boxes, and switch two guards to beat them up easier. Although in my case, it'd be even easier if they were both fighting at the same time. We make it through some other passageways, but then get stuck on entering key codes to unlock each one. Of course, since I respect my time, I just look up the answer on the keypad to make it through with no hassle whatsoever. And just like that, we reach the bottom of the palace where the treasure lies, and that's another day one palace rush. I make some curry just in case if we need some extra SP for the upcoming boss fight. Makoto and Ryuji also unlock their Showtime event. Kaneshiro reads the calling card, and we make our way to the palace to kick his ass. After some easy ass whooping, he talks to us about some masked man and how he uses mental shutdowns to his advantage. After my favorite bit of dialogue in the game,
I think I cracked my ass.
On, are you alright? Is yours cracked as well?
Of course not!
Isn't it supposed to be, though?
we make our way to LeBlanc to check out the real treasure, which is 30 million yen. We're rich! And it's fake. God damn it. Doesn't really matter anyway, since we'll get over 2 million later on. Anyway, we have a dream with the funny big nose man, then get my dream ruined by Makoto. Oh, but it's actually good news apparently. They put Kaneshiro in custody. That's a relief. While we wait for results, I go to Mementos and buy back our Sen for villainous swelling amounts of inflation, and do some requests on the fan site.
Alright, we're in Mementos. Let's check out our requests. Dog, what the fuck?
We also fight the Reaper for a little bit, just for a little boost to the XP. I play some video games, chat with Mr. Beast, max out Ryuji's bond, spend some time with my beloved Kasumi, who kindly made us an absolutely delicious meal.
It tastes a bit different. Very familiar, actually. Hold on. I can't escape it.
Smash another massive burger down my throat. Help Makoto with making her act like a human and not like a robot. Like seriously, Aigis has more personality and uniqueness than Makoto. I love Aigis, she's just like me for real. Dan enters his art to a museum, but some old dude acts like he's the but he ain't even the fart. But Dan takes his words to heart and makes it an opportunity to improve his art. I also take Kasumi on a nice boat ride and drink a bunch of coffee to get my charm up. Now comes the time where Kaneshiro confesses his crimes and leads us to getting more recognition. To celebrate, I go on a date with Akechi, but he gets caught by bystanders. Due to him being popular, this could cause some issues on our date. He wants to leave due to causing problems, but thankfully I got an even better idea. I make it look like my twin Joker, and enjoy the rest of our evening. I promised him a great time by saying I'd gladly dress him up again.
I hope you're not being serious.
Afterward, we hang out with the gang and study together. We decide that we want to celebrate our recent victory against Kaneshiro by going to the fireworks festival. Until then, we bump into Kasumi, who wants to have a chat with us, but Akechi joins in and invites us to the same cafe he took us to the other day. Akechi brings up the question if she supports the Phantom Thieves, which she doesn't, because since she believes that a society where the Phantom Thieves solve anything wouldn't be a good thing for the people to self-improve themselves. Honestly, she has a good point, so I'll keep that in mind for later. I take part in the exam, and after 3 grueling days of boring as shit, we do some fun shit by going to the festival. Unfortunately, however, it was unbelievably hot, and some interviewer interviews Ryuji, which he talks out of his which I don't really see how it would be considered cringeworthy by Yusuke, but alright then.
That was truly cringeworthy.
We got a nice meal to eat on while trying to bear the heat, but it got to the point that we left to go somewhere a bit cooler, but I find Kasumi standing around the same area who wants to have a conversation about how she's been in a bit of a slump due to the death of her younger sister, and after some kind words she gets remotivated and we make our way back home after. I then watch a movie with On.
Wow, I can't believe that ending for Who Killed Captain Alex. What a crazy twist.
Which was fun. Then I watched the fireworks with the gang. It starts to rain, so we get back home where we see Sojiro and Sai in an argument and shortly find out that this new character named Medjed wants to take down the Phantom Thieves. To hell I'll let that slide. At least we got the results on the test now, and I'm in the top 10! Yippee! All of a sudden, in the middle of class, I get a mysterious message from someone who says they can take care of Medjed in exchange for changing someone's heart. I try replying back to no response because for some reason it won't let me reply. I gather the gang to see what we should do, and we decide that we shall accept their request. We even get a blank calling card, so we might as well take this as a sign. The next day, we get another message about the name of the target being Futaba Sakura, which upon further inspection is the same name as Sojiro's, so I ask if I can meet her, but he questions about how I know them and then leaves abruptly. Seems kinda sus, but at least we know they're real. After our next day of school, I do some running around in Yongen-jaya to figure out more about Futaba to no avail. We find Sai accusing Sojiro of abusing Futaba, which doesn't sound right at all. Even the gang thinks so too. Afterward, we eat some nice sushi and have some friendly discussions. Although Ryuji nearly gets us caught by admitting we're Phantom Thieves. Thanks, Ryuji. Anyway, we decided that we should visit Futaba at her house, and it's all scary because there's thunder and there's a scream and the lights are off, so it's dark and scary, but it's not really scary. Jesus Christ, the girl sent me, that's horrifying! Okay, hey there, Futaba. Oh no, Sojiro heard. This is gonna be a bit awkward and my ass is cooked. Give me your money! We try once more with getting Sojiro to talk about Futaba, which thankfully he tells us the story. In short, Sojiro was friends with her mom, who later died while being busy doing her research on cognitive science. The next day we visit the house again to see if we can get Futaba to give us the keywords to the palace, which after some testing we got what we needed. We head into the palace, which seems to be a desert with the main palace being a pyramid. We go inside to investigate where Futaba tries to kill us, so we rush back out and come back soon. After some talking at the hideout, we go back to the palace, and Futaba immediately sends us over to a nearby town. Some guy decides to be a pain in the ass by stealing the key, so we chase him down and kill him, then get the key which to return to the palace to use. Unfortunately, Futaba tricked us and sends us to the fiery pits of sand. We make our way through some caverns and finally return to Sweet Solidarity. Unfortunately, we gotta go back down and try to rush through the rest of the palace. I got bored of trying to do all the puzzles, so I tried the secret technique.
Open sesame.
And just like that, I opened the door, which leads us to the end of the path where the treasure lies. The next day, I hang out with Dan, where we discuss our favorite Bring Me the Horizon albums. Then the day after that, I hang out with Ryuji, where we talk about our favorite manga. We go over to Futaba's house and give her the calling card in person, so the door in the metaverse can open. And now we gather together to serve some more ass-whooping. After 23 minutes of swinging fist or whatever else, we finally take down Wakaba, and Futaba gets her own persona. We go back to LeBlanc, but me and Makoto go to Futaba's house to check up on her. We get to Kimmy to check her out too, but she seems fine, she's just EP. She's a growing girl, it's understandable. While we wait for her recovery, we go glasses shopping with Kasumi. Meet Hifumi to teach us how to play shogi.
I don't know, this doesn't really look like shogi to me.
Go to a nice bar for Akechi, watch Kasumi's play some baseball, got bored enough that I one-shot the twins so they gave me a bookmark to commemorate the occasion, meet up with Shiho to see her doing a lot better than how she was before, and finally reach the deadline of the Medjed hack. Thankfully Futaba stops the hack, meanwhile we clean her room, then she immediately goes to sleep right after helping us. We gather some of the group to eat some snacks together with Futaba since she's with us now, and decide that we will all go to the beach together. We tried raising up the ladies, which didn't work. Wait, is that Kasane Teto? What the fuck? Ryuji gets caught by his biggest fans, then gets a pair of lobsters, make Ryuji a giant sandman, gets spiked in volleyball like that one scene in Panty and Stocking, and have a deep conversation on the edge of the beach about how Futaba wishes she could go see her mom again. After a big day, Morgana goes to sleep and has a nightmare of Miku Daiyo. A truly horrific nightmare indeed. We give Morgana some encouraging words to do some homework the next day. We get some great sushi with Futaba and Sojo as thanks for helping Futaba out. We also take Futaba to Akihabara and unlock her confidant. We try searching for someone we can track down and take their palace down, but due to not finding anything, Futaba comes up with a great idea to download data on it to USB to find culprits. Makoto was a little hesitant, but in the end she decided it would be best to do so. Now we get to watch Makoto stealthily steal data from Sai's laptop. While she does this, I would like to mention that you should subscribe to support the channel, it'd be greatly appreciated, and now she's done. I have a relaxing smile bath with Akechi where we talk about our parents. And now we reach the day of our trip to Hawaii. We take a celebratory selfie where Futaba takes a peek for the camera, totally not creepy at all or anything. Ryuji says my favorite line in the entire game.
Damn, you speak Japanese?
After we waited a day of just chilling around, Dan is here too.
Ain't that right, Wait, what the hell?
He says the reason as to why he's here in Hawaii is that he had to take a stop early to save money, which yeah, I guess I would save him some money, so I can't argue with that logic. We take a photo outside a Big Bang Burger, talk to a girl who has a sprite so you know she's an important character. Morgana complains that he thinks he's useless, because he is, and I have to put up with Mishima talking. Ryuji then joins us shortly after On comes into our room as well. We talk about our taste in partners and decide to try sleeping until Mishima starts shitting his guts out. Thankfully the next day I get a message from Kusumi who invites us to a date, which we accept, and after some walking around and taking in the scenery, we sit down and enjoy the sunset. Before we go back to Japan, the group decides that we should get souvenirs for the others who couldn't make it. Kusumi tries to scare us.
Hello? Senpai!
Which didn't work, and she meets the others before we go back home shortly after. During that time, the principal gets run over by a truck. Sai tells Makoto about the news, and the whole school finds out the day after. The students didn't seem to care and are actually glad he's dead, which is quite shocking and yet at the same time not surprising. He was better than my high school principal.
My principal was trying to look for cupcakes. At least that's what the police report said.
Meanwhile, Morgana ditches our because he got roasted by Ryuji too hard.
That's why your shoes raggedy. That's why your mama dead. Dead as hell.
And now starts the worst part of the game, the Okumura arc. Miku Daiyo gets her shit mixed up, but a mysterious person comes to save her. Shortly after, they team up and leads us to find that lead of Mr. Okumura, which takes us to his palace alongside Akechi, but he must have snuck off camera because he ain't here. We venture far from and surely find out that the workers are clearly overworked, to no one's surprise. We reach the door and bump into an idiot and a beauty thief. After some back and forth, some enemies come up and try to start a fight, but we all book it outside. Makoto recognized Beauty Thief, so we spent the next day trying to find the person who is behind the mask. Surely it can't be that hard to find someone with pinkish hair and a massive forehead, right? After a little bit of digging, we find out the identity being Haru Okumura. Also, something I noticed is that she actually isn't in the books in front of us, so I don't know how the fuck they even saw her. Funnily enough, we bump into her on our way out, which we help her out, and have a conversation about joining the Phantom Thieves, which she's determined to do with only Morgana, but thanks to the power of editing, I can just skip to the point where Morgana's not being a little shit insane, and they both join. Oh, but not before I show him getting kicked against the wall.
What the? Goddamn cat!
After we save both of them, we work together, eat some sandwiches, decide on our deadline for the next target is October 10th, and make our way back to Okumura's palace. Haru's shadow fiancé starts being a nut, so we immediately kick his ass after Haru awakens her persona. We hunt down 3 guards for some keycards, go through some time trials, do some tedious space bullshit, and then reach the treasure. We go back home where Mr. Beast tells us about how he got a better idea on cognitions, and how he wants to change everyone's cognition like the Phantom Thieves. Totally not foreshadowing for later on. Haru and Morgana unlock their Showtime attack, and send the calling card via Haru. We enter the palace and chase after Okumura after he shortly ditches us behind with the treasure. We then reach his UFO and get trapped in a force field. Thankfully Haru is safe, then the bag Morgana steals her time to shine, and then we start the fight against Okumura. Unfortunately, my game soft locks twice, so I beat him on the 3rd attempt, thankfully. After we leave, we see a shadow figure shooting Okumura. Hopefully that's not a sign for what's to come. When we get outside, his treasure turns into a model spaceship. To relax, I play some video games.
I lost my red shells, damn it.
Then play some more with Futaba on my day off, where I also make her some curry. Mr. Beast offers me a 10 grand challenge where I gotta eat everything on this table in front of me, and his friend offers me help to get at that money. I finish reading one of my books on the way to school, watch a movie with Morgana, and we see Monica getting told off and being punished for getting 3rd place. As she walks out, she bumps into us and finds that she dropped her good luck charm. She goes back to the room where the teachers and listens on the conversation where they're saying she's basically a deadweight since her sister died. We try finding her at the same spot we found her at the one time, and all of a sudden there's a palace in front of us. We rush inside and take a slide and watch Monica see her sister who dies again. Oh, and 2, that's rough, buddy. We try to save her, but she decides she'll save herself. We do some ass kicking together and rush out of the palace. And when we leave, we explain to her how the metaverse works. Afterward, we go on a fake date with Makoto to figure out why one of her friends is dating some freak who likes him young. We also show Futaba around the school so she can see what the student life is like.
I'm fucking miserable, and I got 3 assignments due in the same week.
I also have lunch alongside Monica and Mr. Beast where we have a bit to catch up. We go to Disneyland, we watch Akuma admit his crimes. Oh wait, what's that? He died? Shh. Oh, that's not good. Now society thinks we killed him. Unfortunately, we don't have the power to prove it wasn't us, so we can't do much about it just yet. We should be more focused on our studies and stuff before you try to find another target that could put us in a better light. So I started helping on studies. Futaba calls Nishima an NPC. Then take for the 3 days of exams where I totally don't cheat on at all whatsoever. Afterwards, I help Haru with gardening, play some more video games, get interrogated at school.
Joker, do you know why I brought you in today? Because I was gooning in art class? That's right. This is the second time we've had this discussion this week. Actually, last time I was edging in social studies. It's the same thing.
We let Makoto count votes, so she got kind of screwed over and didn't get help from anyone else. Eat a massive burger, because estrogen needs me to put on that weight for that better fat redistribution after all. Monica asks if I'm okay.
I bought the Switch too. How the f do you think I feel?
Akechi comes over to my house to relax until he gets uncomfortable seeing me. I then go to the festival with my friends where we order microwave takoyaki, and all of a sudden, Akechi joins us and eats one of them. The one he ate being the spicy one, and almost dies from it.
It's quite the...
Eating it in one bite is a bad idea.
My throat. This is... oh, my stomach. It burns.
It was pretty funny, but we got something more important the day after, Akechi's interview panel. On the day, Akechi claims that he knows exactly who the Phantom Thieves are. Hell, they're even in this very school. And just as he's about to announce the Phantom Thieves, he stops and takes me and the team to the backstage where he threatens us, or if we don't join in on his idea, he'll rat us out and take us in. But if we do join him, you have to disband the HR Thieves after the mission is complete. After some reluctancy, we take him up on that offer since we don't have much choice, and it's totally not beneficial for us later on. We go back outside of the room where we do our own thing. Thankfully, Monica invites me to dance with her. Oh, and you ain't ready for these motherfucking dance moves? Watch me.
Very impressive, Senpai.
Shortly after, Haru gets stuck in a Q&A and I have to save her from the awkwardness.
If you put a bonnet on a cookie, does that make it a fishnet?
Futaba later gets caught for being related to the Phantom Thieves, which after some arguing, Sojiro understands and lets us off and promises to keep it a secret. The next day, we get Akechi to join us on our walk to find Sai's palace, which we find pretty quickly. We make our way up the stairs and enter the palace doors, where as we go through the vents, Sai finds us and walks off to our elevator, where we must also go up to chase her. Unfortunately, we need a keycard, so we come back the next day, where before we enter, Haru and Makoto learn their Showtime attack. Kasumi also manages to join us on our little palace run, which hey, I ain't complaining. Except for when she levels up and constantly gets level up skill replacements for each level. How the hell did she join anyway?
Oh, I came from under there.
Underwear.
Made you say underwear. Ah!
Anywho, we sneak through the back rooms and make it to the next floor where we're required to gamble to get enough points to get to the next floor above. So I try my luck at the big slot machine and win first try. I just for my luck.
Come on, baby, hit 15.
God damn it! We go up to the next floor where I go through a maze and solo some enemies for the remaining needed points. We give all the points we got on top of Akechi's secret stash, and we make it to the treasure which will be saved for later. Before we steal it, I gather the team and Monica to complete some mementos requests. Help Futaba out with making her uncle have a change of heart, kick Akechi's out of the pool. He got so upset at losing he tried fighting me. Bro, did you forget I have the power of God or something? Since he asked not to hold back, I hit him with a debilitated Torikaja concentrate myriad troops combo. I win, to no one's surprise, and as a reward I get his glove and make a deal where we will fight each other again in the future. Sounds good, Akechi. I also max out Kawakami's Confidant so I can get massages that let me go out after visiting the metaverse. I then max out Yusuke's Confidant where he paints a really pretty painting. Makoto hits a slap harder than when Frank Heffley crushed Riley's chest. Max out EY's Confidant and do nothing with it. Eat some food with Monica where we discuss about being a Phantom Thief. Mr. Beast announces that he's leaving. Oh no, what a shame, please don't go, or something like that, I guess. Before he leaves, he has a chat with me on how he figured out that me and my friends are part of the Phantom Thieves. That's an actual oh no. Although he seems grateful that we helped him with our research, so we can shake his hand but miss completely and max out his Confidant. As we reach the day to send the calling card, we get Makoto to give it to her since we won't be able to give it to her otherwise. The day after, we rush into Sai's palace and try to steal her treasure, which shortly leads us to fighting her. I get Light Yagami, Hex Maniac, and Numa to help me out in this fight, mainly just for support as my damage will be able to just obliterate her in 3 hits. Unfortunately, however, Numa crashes my game when I go to select her due to her not meant to be there. What's more unfortunate is that I forgot to save, so now I gotta send back 5 minutes where I had to just skip everything. How fun. She set us up and now there's other people trying to come in to stop us. As I split from the team, Numa wants to follow along, so I suppose I got someone to back me up if needed. Although she seems to have apparently disintegrated, so she's no longer here. Oh wait, no, she's just up there waiting for me. I'm now arrested, and the guy uses the force to slam my head against the floor, which causes his balls to go up his stomach, to the point where he loses his voice, and then uses telekinesis to swing his clipboard around. It got to the point where the clipboard floating around was looping, so I had to skip it sadly, but my god, I was pissing myself laughing. What is going on? Oh my god! Sai comes in to try to get answers out of me, where I convince her that someone else is the culprit. We give her the phone, which she figures out it's Akechi. Speaking of Akechi, he kills us. Afterward, he calls Andrew Tate, where he says something I can agree with him for once.
Make sure to kill that strange cat once you find it as well.
We then get flashbacks on how we figured out Akechi was sus. I then pull a bitch out of my coma and wake back up alive and get taken back home. Well, all my friends have waited for me too. We do a bit of catching up on the plot, which I got bored watching, so I'm gonna skip over it, but then we decide to visit the Diet building, where we try figuring out the keywords for the palace, but since security is about to kick our ass, we leave early and wait the day after for when Tate visits our area. Ryuji wants to try and talk to him, and just walks straight up to him where his guard is being a twat like last time. I think it flashbacks to when I kicked his ass and tell my friends about it. We come back to get the palace keywords, and after saying ship, we go inside. Once again, Monica will be joining us again. It seems she's quite skilled at breaking the game in her world, so I guess it's just as fitting as her doing so here. After we walk around to get an idea of what we're dealing with, we go back home. Monica agrees to the next day to make sure I'm alive, but she's very pleased to see me. Thankfully, Morgana set this up for me, so I'll say this once. Thank you, Morgana. We had some discussions on how she knew we were in the palace, and after some more talking, we managed to get her to join the team officially. We make our way back into the palace, where we find a card to let us through to the dining hall and get the first invitation letter. I then reach a point where we get turned into rats, and look, even Kasumi has her own little rat form. That's so cute. Unfortunately, this part's boring as hell, so now we reach a creepy guy, who will only give us an invitation if he sees the girls wear swimsuits. After quickly beating him, we take his letter and make our way to the next person where Hex Maniac talks to them while he's doing the slotties. We quickly kill him for the letter, then move on to the next person, who's a guy in IT. We send him Botan to take care of it, but once again it leads to another fight, so we kill him for the letter. The next person we need to get a letter from is a Yakuza member, where we get Dan to paint up a tattoo for him. Of course there was a discourse, so we beat him up for the letter. We make our way out of that room, but unfortunately Mr. Pancake Boy gives us his monologue on why he hates us, because I'm just so perfect.
I put milk before the ball.
Akechi also comes out to us.
Move. I'm gay.
Like, good on you, Akechi, but I hate to break it to you, we already knew. Ooh, he didn't like that. I suppose we're fighting him now. Sorry, Akechi, but I'm kind of like OP and shit, so, yeah. Oh, you got a second phase? No, you don't. All of a sudden, his cognitive twin comes up to him and tries to kill him. Really, Akechi shoots the safety door to close on us, so now we're safe, but they both shoot each other. Rest in peace, you will be missed. Man, if only we'll see him in the future, We decide to get a revenge for Akechi by sending the calling card, so we hack to the TV to make our announcement that we're coming for Andrew Tate. Kind of like that scene where Eggman pisses on the moon. We walk up to the palace where Tate asserts his dominance by first showing off that his aura is so strong that he broke his UI sprites. The fight then starts, and of course I do the usual buffs with Futaba, applying a bonus boost and just wail damage on him until he's done. And this one was just being an act, because this was tedious. Surprisingly, after beating him, he wants to atone for his sins, but the real Shido tries to avoid it by temporarily dying in hopes that it will kill us. So we rush out since time's running out. Ryuji sacrifices himself so the rest of us can get on a boat and escape, and damn, my bro is dead. Dan tries to make light out of it.
This isn't funny at all.
You're right, it was not funny. God, that's so unfortunate. I can't believe he's actually dead. Oh my god, he's alive! An gives him a slap. Then we all happily go back to our homes together with Ryuji. I have to emphasize that because I still think them all being the shit out of Ryuji is the dumbest thing ever. Anywho, me and Futaba make it back to LeBlanc where Sojo is missing. Psyche's actually missing. You fell for it again. I sell my soul and treasure to Iwai for some extra money. Call me Fidel Cashflow. I then drink elephant with Haru.
This coffee tastes different. Did you put anything different in it? Oh. It's elephant shit.
Later that same day, I go on a dinner date with Hifumi where we discuss shogi-related things. Due to me being bored and running out of people to hang out with, I start Chihaya's confidant. And speaking of running out of people to hang out with, I reluctantly hang out with Mishima. Ugh. Go on a relaxing Ferris wheel ride with Kasumi. Mishima offers me a dinner date, and after saying that I want steak, he misgenders me.
Oh, buddy!
I don't think I'll stay here any longer. I'm going back home. Fuck you, Mishima. You're already dead to me, but now you're double dead to me. That's like roughly twice of being dead to me normally. I go see Monica at the aquarium where she gives me a cute little moon plush gift. Shortly after, I max out Haru's confidant, and now comes the day where Tate admits his crimes, without asking the question of our color of our Bugatti. Afterwards, I find out Mishima has a shadow form, so I go over to take care of it, but decide that he can get f***ed because he's a little jealous little bitch. So yeah, go back to the bottom tier with Morgana, and I'll see you later at the school, nerd. Be sure to give me your lunch money before we enter the school gates. It saves me time doing it later in the day. I should have been so rude to him, not gonna do exams. And now all of a sudden, people's cognitions are acting all weird, now we gotta remove the metaverse. We rush into Mementos where we find a bunch of puzzles, which on my first playthrough of this game took me an uncomfortable amount of time, but it is now easier to be in the game 5 times. Then we find the people whose hearts we've changed. After searching further, we find Yondev's Chalice, which upon further inspection is a boss fight where we can't kill it no matter what we throw at it.
And with these 6 Egyptian god cards in my hand, I summon all of them and attack you directly for game. What do you mean I don't beat you? This is bullshit. I'm leaving.
The talking chalice takes us back to the normal world where, just like Slayer, it's raining blood and causes us to fade away and slowly die. I wake up and get forced to fight the twins, which requests that I fuse them together to fuse the real Velvet Room attendant Lavenza. But suddenly afterward, Gru becomes evil. I decline his offer of pulling a JoJo Part 6 ending and get a new Gru to replace him. I have to save my teammates by giving them some encouraging words.
Hey, could you please turn back on the team? I don't really have anything motivating to say, but it would really help to save the world.
And we wake up, get up, and get out there. We kill any guardians, blocking our way with ease, and get a rematch with the Chalice, who is Gru? He turns into the Chalice and I one-shot it before even needing to cut the veins. Gru transforms into his true form, Yardabov. I didn't want to sugarcoat it, so I pulled my G2AM to kill him. Well guys, we did it. We saved the world. Oh no, Morgana's leaving us. Oh no, what a shame. Oh man. My eyes hurt more from the blindness of this cutscene more than seeing Morgana go. Sai needs me to get arrested, but somehow the Prince Detective comes over to cover for me. Thanks, Akechi. Didn't think you were alive, but hey, I'll take it. I go back to LeBlanc, where Futaba's begging Sojiro for a turkey, which Sojiro gives her like $10 or whatever, not expecting her to get much other than snacks, but due to the power of friendship and what I'm presuming was also a gun, she managed to get a turkey, alongside a cake too. Damn, how do you even manage that? That's like, seriously. The rest of my friends gather food to bring and spend time together, but the others feel like we're missing someone. Trust me, we ain't missing nobody. I don't want them, and Sojiro managed to find them. God damn it! I could be playing Charles right now, where Fee would be so much more interesting to listen to right now, because she's actually a good character.
Yeah, I kind of got fed up of listening to Morgana, so yeah, I just want to take a little bit of a break. Anyway, back to the regular scheduled Persona content.
Kasumi and Dan come over on New Year's Eve with everyone else, where we are amazed by Dan's extravagant scarf and eat buttloads of food. The news announces that Tay will be arrested now, and we all rest for New Year's Day. I have a weird dream where I follow with Butterfly around the school, then wake up to Kasumi saying she wants to go to the shrine with me. I of course join her, and accidentally bump into the others. But Haru says she's going to spend time with her dad, and Futaba is hanging out with her mom. What the hell is going on? Well, that's not important because Kasumi asked what my wish was.
I really wish I got some miso soup. Miso soup!
I wake up to ash and dust, and there's a man on my bed. I'm a lesbian! Get out! I rush downstairs and walk up as eating food with Sojiro and Futaba. What the f is going on? Akechi bumps in and requests that we team up and figure out the strange shenanigans that's been happening as of recent. I of course accept his request, and he summarizes what's happening. Basically, someone has control of the world, and it's our job to stop them. We meet up with Kasumi, who found a palace. That palace being the place where she awakened her persona. We get into a fight where Akechi loses his and goes ham. Kasumi gets concerned and asks if he's normally like this. Unfortunately, this is a normal old Akechi. As we venture further into the palace, we bump into Mr. Beast, who is the palace ruler, and he shows off Kasumi's background, where Kasumi is actually the dead sister, and the one in front of us is Sumire Yoshizawa. Sumire gets kidnapped by Mr. Beast, and now we must do a fight where we hit the demon with the Zest Fest combo and win. Mr. Beast then dishes our ass and says we must see him again in a week from now, so we make the best of my time and get all my friends to realize that they're not in the real world, but it technically is, but not really. After about 40 minutes of convincing my friends to see the truth, they talk together in LeBlanc. Meanwhile, me and Light Yagami fight a red version of Sumire's persona, and my friends join in to help out too. We manage to rescue Sumire and get her out of there. And as we enter school, Lavenza gathers us around to explain the situation at hand. Basically, Mr. Beast has altered the metaverse and control others' cognition, and it's our job to stop him from to bring back our reality. Oh my god, I love that DDLC song. Later that day, Sumire comes over to LeBlanc, where she says that she saw us talk to Lavenza and thanks me for helping her out with her issues. Now that we're at LeBlanc, we talk about how we got till February 3rd to find the treasure and send the calling card. We go to the palace again, where Numa says she wants to join back, so we let her in the team once more. As we walk into the palace, she awakens to her true self and her arcana gets fixed. We reach a point into the palace where we need to cut some cables and mementos, but before I do that, I spend some time with Sumire because I want to max out her confidant and do the same thing the day after where I go to the gym. We then travel through mementos and keep going deeper in until we reach the cables we need to cut. After that, all my friends wanted to spend some time to talk to me about how they've awakened something inside of them, that being their personas. Although talking to Haru seemed to make my feet disintegrate, we head back into the palace where we watch some cassettes that show off Mr. Beast's past about how he awakened his persona. Thinking about just some more walking and watching guys on the puzzles because I couldn't be bothered. We reach the end of the palace, but since we can't steal his heart yet, I go back and go clue shopping with Sumire, where we try to find her something nice, but instead found confidence in herself, which is more valuable. Sumire then comes over to LeBlanc, where she asks me a very important question, whether or not we should date, to which I accept.
I'm so embarrassed.
Oh no, I think I broke her. Later that evening, Mr. Beast and Akechi have a discussion on whether or not I continue to plan on stopping Mr. Beast. In short, if I stop him, Akechi dies and the world will go back to normal, but if I don't stop him, he'll continue to live and everyone else will live in their ideal world, but Akechi here isn't pleased with that idea. But of course, I choose to go against Mr. Beast and give him the calling card. We then get the team together up and fight against him for the ultimate showdown. Of course, I tried cheesing him, but sadly his tankiness and whatnot made this take so long, so I'll quickly hit him with one of these and damn, he's got a second phase. Who would have saw that one coming? Second phase comes around and now we fight him in his mech form. It starts to get close after some turns and leads us to the final push where we successfully beat him. As we finally escape, Mr. Beast tries to drag me down and fight him one last time, which I accept. We get into a fistfight, which of course I win again, and life goes back to normal. My friends gathered at LeBlanc where Morgana joins once more because they thought he was dead. Speaking of which, Akechi is dead, and since he's dead, he ain't able to cover for me, so I'm in jail now. Thankfully, my friends want to try and figure out how to save me. How nice of them. A while later, Sai lets me out and I get to see my friends where we talk about how we'll save the world but with our own strength. Valentine's Day comes around and Sumire asks if we want to meet up at LeBlanc and have the night together, which I accept, and she gives me a cute bear. We spend the rest of the night resting together, then a month later, White Day arrives. I completely forgot about that day, but thankfully, Sojiro is the GOAT and hits me up with advice on what I should do. He even gave me ins on using his name to get a reservation. Thanks, Sojiro. I'll be on my way to get set up the date. Me and Sumire went to the aquarium and had a nice dinner in a skyscraper and gave her a bouquet of roses. She seems to enjoy it, so I'm glad to see her happy. Unfortunately, I gotta say goodbye to everyone now, so I visit my friends where they give me some parting words.
Maybe the Persona 5 Royal was the friends we made along the way.
But I know I can't stay in my room forever, and that's way more important.
Well, we've all been through a lot, but it seems like everything's changed for the better.
You might find that even now, sometimes it'll feel like the whole world's against you.
I want to live up to my grandfather's reputation after all, and my father's legacy.
Hey, how's it going? I've actually got something for you. This is the bread that you asked me to get. And you can now go make me a sandwich.
This really was a Jinsokyu Odyssey. Wait, this is the wrong game!
One day, I'll be a police commissioner. I know it won't be easy, but I also know I'll never give up.
Damn, what an experience that was. What did I learn from another 100 hours of Persona 5? I f***ing hate Morgana more than I already did before.